The Podical Sons.
Wagwan. Toronto man in the house. Well, I'm in Milton really right now, but still a Toronto man. Same way. Just stomping in the neighborhood, checking it out, see what's going on. Got a lot of noise in the background. I don't know if I should be doing this right now. A lot of noise in the background, but this is what we're calling 4 conversations, where we sit down with 4 different guests. This is actually 4 different episodes where we sat down with 4 different guests, but I just want to highlight the moments and let you know that not just me and Marv kick the knowledge on the show majority of the times, but every now and then, we pop in a few subject matter experts and kind of get their point of view of what's going on in the world. All right, so, sit back, relax, and take a break from the norm. First up, Lady Cigarello. How many of you are really familiar with the cigar culture? How many of you know what a herf is? Yeah, I didn't know what it was either. But it was a great conversation. Learned a lot of things that I didn't know about before in the land of cigar smoke.
My name is Tracy. I'm Lady Cigarello, according to my Instagram page. I have a cigar blog. I have a website, ladycigarello.com. I have hoodies and hats and t-shirts, but the blog is just mostly me smoking and doing some cigar reviews and, having people walk on the journey with me.
Nice. At what age did you first start smoking?
Well, without getting age specific, but I was I started smoking like 5 years ago. Okay. I kind of stumbled on cigars at this Spirits and it was something festival that was at Cherry Beach.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they had like a little cigar kiosk, and my first cigar I was interested, and I tried a Cigarello. Mm-hmm. That was my first one, and then
remember the brand?
Yes, I do. It actually was one of my a very great brand that I love, Mumbacho. It's funny because I came across the picture in my Facebook memories actually of that day, and Mumbacho makes really good cigars. And I come from a family of smokers, but that had nothing to do with me smoking cigars. Mm-hmm. Smokers of cigarettes, like growing up in the 70s and 80s, that's right. What it was, we used to smoke. And I think it's kind of interesting that this is my thing now.
Yeah, so you've never known anybody prior?
No, not one person, not one woman at all. It was just a stand, try this thing out.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I was in Trinidad, and they had another cigar kiosk at this party, and I went for a bigger cigar, and it kind of was there. And then maybe a year and a half later, a girlfriend and I, we realized, oh, I like cigars too, and then we started the page together, and it didn't really marry well. And then she's like, just do your thing. And I took the page over and I changed the name to Lady Cigarello because that's where it started. And here we are. Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
So no cigarette smoking, no weed smoke.
I mean, I smoke weed now to sleep. I'm at the age where I need help going to bed at night, but not for recreation.
That's okay.
I need a nice.
We're all at that age.
I need to like an old man in the bath, as they say. I need to be lulled into a nice indica haze.
Yes,
because
with me,
yeah.
With me, I want to say typically, I could probably get 2-3 solid hours of sleep, and I'm up like a crackhead.
Yeah, everything wakes me up.
And then with the indicas and everything and stuff, whatever, it'd be like.
It's just nice. It's like a warm blanket, right?
Warm blanket.
It's fuzzy. It's warm. Everything's good in my world. Yeah. The water bottle's there in case I get parched.
Yeah, I got my cup on standby.
A little bit of. I'm not gonna lie to you. A little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub is there just in case my nose.
I keep some mints.
Oh, do you? I'm addicted to Vicks. I'm a Vicks. I'm a one of those. You think
Vicks cures everything?
It does. I don't get it. That's not up for debate. It's not up for debate. it's gonna like
That's the mountain you're standing on.
It just happens. Like it happens at all. Like before I leave the house, I hit a Vicks. Like I'm like I need to be clear. Like let me clear my brain. Man.
I have a coworker one day.
Yeah.
She said to me one day. She looked at me. I'm like, I'm gonna think my nose is coming on. You know,
she had it in her purse.
No, she told me, she's like, yo, you just, take dab a little Vicks on your pinky and just swallow some Vicks. I'm like,
I've been doing.
I'm like, pardon?
Everybody says that to me. Like,
so you heard it too?
Wait,
Dab a little Vicks on your.
But like a small amount, like won't give you like poison.
Yeah.
But like just swallowing the Vicks and like I don't know the menthol and everything. So I was like, no.
So this is what I find bizarre. Like you're like heard it too. Like, like
this is the first time I'm hearing it.
You've never
first time?
eaten
Never.
Vicks so you don't eat Vicks ever.
No, I don't eat Vicks either. But,
No, I don't eat Vicks, Tracy. And by the sounds of it,
sound like you eat Vicks.
by the sounds of it, Tracy.
I've never thought to not to. Like it's just like why I mean we're here. Like what are we doing? We're already putting it in our nose. It's just it seems like the natural next step.
What's the frequency of like you enjoying a good cigar? Like, do you do it
once a day? Yeah, that's a good question.
I typically smoke maybe once a day, at most 3 times a week. However, a lot of my friends and that's the most. Normally, like a week, like a work week, it'd probably be twice a week. So on the weekend, maybe Saturday and Sunday, because it's summer. I want to I go on my balcony, I get it in. So if I count Saturday, Sunday, maybe once in the week, depending if I feel like it, or if on the ride home from work, like there's sometimes it's just a good ride home,
right?
Sets up the mood. But most people I know, like they're smoking 3 cigars a day, like
really?
legit. A lot of the guys that I hang out, like they smoke 3 cigars a day. I think when I was in Houston Cigar Week, that's the most I smoked. Because I would smoke 1 in the day, like wherever I went to in the day, and then in the evening. Yeah, right. So it was like. I was there for 3 days, so it was 6 cigars. And that was heavy. Like that for me was heavy. You know what I mean? It was like,
let me ask you. So like for your drive, like you were saying and stuff, how long typically you need to smoke? Like,
well, my ride. So I live in Scarborough, but I work in Richmond Hill. So that's why it's a good drive. So I could set up my drive So that's at least 45 minutes.
It's a perfect cigar distance.
A perfect cigar distance. So like the weather is right. The sunroof is open. The windows are down. I got my Starbucks or whatever I get. It's a good ride. Okay. And then usually by the time I get home, I still got a little bit more to go. So.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it can do the drive then. So I guess like from the 45.
Yeah, and if you're not I know people who don't smoke in their car. Like I. Smoke in my car. Sometimes it's like one of the best places.
It's your car.
It is. I know. It's
people turn their car into studios. You'll see podcasts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
in their car.
But people are, and I was funny about that at first. Actually, until the pandemic, I wasn't smoking in my car. And even then, I had like a shitbox cigar. I mean, that car would have been the car to smoke in. But but legit. But I wasn't. But until the pandemic.
Progress.
No, seriously. I was smoking in my car. I wasn't doing it until the pandemic. And I was working from home. Mm-hmm. And then legit, it was one day where it was like I had to go to work to pick up my paycheck though, and I don't know, in April it was odd. It was like the weather was warm that day, and I was like, "This is perfect." And then from then, and on my new car, I'm like, "Yeah, like you said, it's my car." You would never know that I smoked in my car. However, cigar smoke, I will say, is different than cigarette smoke. So, cigar smoke dissipates; it doesn't stick.
Kind of like weed.
Yeah,
because with weed and stuff, if you're using straight flour, it doesn't stick. Cigarettes, because there's so much extra things in the chemicals.
It's a nonsense.
Shout out to the cigarette smokers. We're not shitting on you.
We apologize. But I mean, it'll be in my hair like for a day, but it doesn't have that, that smell.
Right.
And most people, I mean, that I've come across, if I'm smoking around people that don't smoke cigars, for the most part, people will say to me like, "That smells good," like whatever.
Yeah, because cigars.
Yeah, it depends on the cigar.
Sweet aroma.
Yeah. It really depends on the cigar. Like some will smell like whatever, but it doesn't have this offensive scent of smell. Yes.
Hip us on to some of these terminologies and these terms when it comes to associated with cigar smoking. I know stogie.
Yeah, stogie is typically just a nickname for cigar. Mm-hmm. Like stogie, sticks, kind of thing.
So what about herf?
We talked about herf. Herf is like a gathering of people that you're just smoking. So you're just hanging out smoking.
2 or more.
2 or more. I would say 2 or more. At least 3. Like, you know,
Like
to make
church,
it a
like
legit,
church.
make it a legit herf. Like 3 of us, we could consider this a small herf.
We're herfing.
Yeah, we're herfing. Yeah.
I don't like how you said it though.
Yeah,
you know,
we're
it sounds better when you
we're
say it.
You don't like how I say
I don't like how you said it.
like how she said
Yeah. Say
We're
it to
herfing.
her.
Yeah, we're herfing.
herfing.
You're herfing.
Who are you hurting?
I was too
Yeah.
aggressive with my herf.
Yeah. It's like,
was-
yeah, it's too aggressive.
It was a little aggressive.
Okay, thank you. You noticed that, right?
It was.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
excited about herf.
Clearly.
Just a small herf.
Would you like to go for a herf sometime
Just a
soon?
small herf, yeah. Even when I use it though, like even when I write it, it sounds so weird to me. Like I'm planning a herf, and I'm like, yeah, I just like.
And that's HERF?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I just say you want to just get together and smoke, you know. But herf, and I don't even know where it comes from. I know years back I looked it up, but I don't really know. Like it's not a short form for anything. I don't know why it's called that.
Well, I
can't
was just telling Marv, I think it was sometime last week, but I was just doing some investigations. I just found out that people the well-off to do who have their mansions and you know they have the libraries and stuff like that. The drawing room is the room where they go and
Relax.
smoke in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, to relax. Yeah, the drawing room to smoke.
Yeah.
What are you drawing? Like, what kind of room is this? Who's bougie enough to have a room to draw
The
in?
drawing room, yeah.
But
I thought that's the room where they would have their like their gin and tonics and whatnot. Also, no,
Right, yes,
yeah, that's
yes,
the room.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
their yeah. I do remember seeing that in an episode of Sex and the City. Yeah, that after their afternoon whatever, or their after dinner gin or whatever.
Right.
That's the room. Yeah, there's a specific room for that.
Let's retire to
To
the drawing room.
Absolutely, yes.
And they're in
Yes, I need to have
I'm
one
too
of
broke to
those.
pay
They're not
attention. I am
drawing.
too broke to pay attention.
I already
'cause-
want one of those rooms, and I'm calling it. And if you call that room anything other than that, it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem.
It's the drawing room.
The drawing
Put some respect on this.
Put some
room's
respect on my
name.
drawing room.
Shit.
The room with the chairs where you just smoke.
You know what I mean?
The drawing
The
room.
drawing
room.
If you don't say
drawing
it,
Oh,
you
you
can
mean
leave.
the drawing room? Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah,
Put some
absolutely.
respect on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, what's the allure about cigars to you?
For me, I don't know,
Is
man.
it
It
the
could have been.
look, the taste? Is it the
You know,
the size?
you know what it is. I think at first it always starts off as the look, 'cause, you know, you do see people with sort of like, that's a good look, whatever that is, I want it. Like what you know, like there is that kind of appeal to it, because there's such a mystery about it, right? Like
Right.
why is cigars? Why is it only for this perceived demographic of people, and why are they doing it when they like it? But then it really got into it for me also when I found out like the history about cigars, like where it came from, like not just Cuba but the Americas, and you know those who from tradition, from you know like from our ancestors that you know not only like why they were doing it, right? Why they were growing this tobacco leaf,
Is it-
and the healing purposes, like and all that.
I was
kind of
about
stuff.
to ask,
Yeah.
is it just like any other drug that we seem to just take and misabuse? It's like
100%.
it started
really
off
is.
as
Like,
with healing properties and the spiritual
you know
thing.
the Afro Cubans and you know and the those of native descent, like you know like those like that the tobacco leaf was something that they used for
It's ritual.
healing or ritual
Right.
or you know, as like I said, you know, voodoo, like you know, but not voodoo the way that society thinks is
Religion.
you know
Yeah.
religion and that kind of thing. And then you know, and then of course the craftsmanship, right? The craftsmanship and the detail that goes into creating like one cigar, right? Like from the planting of the tobacco leaf, right, to then when you pull it, then now you're gonna ferment it, and you're gonna ferment it in a way to get it to have a certain look, and you want to create certain taste from it, right?
Right.
And then from then it goes, and you know, then to the after how many years of that, then the roller's got to pick it up, and the roller, it's a craft, like it's they're artists, right? That are gonna make sure that they're rolled, that like a particular size is rolled the same way, and that the outcome is gonna be the same every single time.
Right.
And most of these, cigars come from cigar families, right? That have a history of, you know, they've been doing this from time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think it's all that together. Plus, yeah, it's just a relaxing, like Steve Harvey said it best. It's yoga for me. It's just a time when I can carve out like an hour and change to myself.
Right.
And I'm just like, you know, it's kind of like wine tasting, the same kind of thing, right? Like, you know, I'm just, you know, inhaling it, I'm tasting it, and I'm blowing it back out, and you know what I mean? And
What sort of activities do you like to do while you smoke? Do you like
Nothing.
nothing? Just
no, like no, but honestly, I'm just honestly, to be quite honest, like lately I figured out like sometimes like friends will call when I'm smoking.
Right.
I usually like they'll hate to hear this, but I decline the calls. Like I don't really like to talk sometimes.
Right.
I don't mind like this.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to be. But I'm just bullshitting on my phone or watching a movie, or sometimes I'm legit just sitting there and just kind of just observing, outside and just whatever. But I think a lot of us have said this, like, and I mean, a lot of us, like my cigar friends, you said this, like, during the pandemic, like, and I stand behind it, like, herfing is great, being with people is great.
Yeah.
But smoking alone is top tier.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a fucking vibe.
I've been saying that, like, lately. It's a vibe. Like, it really is. Like, I don't mind getting together and chopping it up, but I legit love knowing that, okay, it's 6 p.m. and I'm going to go sit on my balcony and let me get my business together. Yeah, I really like being alone.
Vibe. I think because even for myself, like I smoke weed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think even for myself,
Yeah.
a lot of people and stuff like didn't know I smoke weed.
Yeah.
Right? For
Yeah.
years. And they didn't know and stuff like, because it's a vibe when you buy yourself.
It really
you got
is.
your tools, you got your drink.
It's top
you got
tier.
Your,
it really is. Like,
you're your own zone.
it's underrated. Like, and not everything you got to do with people. And it's, don't get me wrong, like, I love getting together with cigar people because I don't do it enough, right?
Because these are your people.
These are my people. Like, I love it, right? I love traveling to do it. I love being around, like, the people that I meet here and whatever. But, yeah, I will never... Like, alone is just
Right.
Yeah, man, it's good. And then sometimes you get a chance to, like, especially if you're trying out new cigars and stuff, or cigars that you've come across, or even cigars you smoked before. Like, you might at that point discover different flavors you didn't pick up the first time. That happens to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been smoking 5 years, which isn't long. So I might smoke something that, it tastes different this time around, or I discovered my palate's changing. It gives me a minute to, like, kind of figure out, do I really like this stick or not?
Right,
Is it something
right.
I'm going to repurchase? And that's just, something that kind of, it's important, right?
Yeah.
Where you want to spend your money. Am I going to buy this one again?
Whether it's spoken word, motivational speaking, or just simply writing poetry, few have done what Dwayne Morgan has done. From countless awards to accolades, to just blessing the community with his presence and what he's been able to accomplish. This one's gotta be one of my favorite sit down and talks, so much so that we've had him on the show twice. And dare to say, I think a third time is warranted.
For me, I definitely agree with that as well. I think, I've been to, like, the hedonism resort in Jamaica a couple times, right? And sometimes when people hear about, hedonism, you have this idea that it's a bunch of hot women that's there and stuff. And then you go there and it's like these older ladies and these older men and stuff. And it's like they're walking around and they don't care. And it's like, yeah, they're just free to just be themselves. Like they've, you've lived life. You've gone through the stage where you're trying to impress everybody. You've gone through the stage where you had the kids. You've gone through where you feel insecure about yourself. And then you're just like, why am I doing all this? Like, I'm alive. Like, you just accept it and then you just move with it. And that's it. So I think, when you're younger, there's a lot more pressure, to conform to, certain norms, to look a certain way, be a certain way, have certain things. And then you get older and you're like, yo, all that stuff is nonsense, man. I'm just happy to be alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you what pertains to insecurities, both of you, right? Is there some insecurity? Okay. Do you feel that some people can't get over specific insecurities, hence why the shame will still be everlasting?
I mean, I think that's an individual thing, right? So there will be people who can't get over, whatever, but I don't think you could say, just one particular insecurity, no one is going to get over it. We're all going to have it forever. I think it's an individual thing. And as individuals, we all have our histories, we all have our triggers, we all have our different things. And I think so for a lot of people, there might be, specific things that they'll never, be able to get over or figure out how to get over. But I think, for most of us, most of the stuff, you just get to a point where you're like, this doesn't even matter.
Talk to us, man. Let the people, we're trying to get to know you a little bit better and your world. So tell us, man, how did the whole poetry thing get started for you?
I mean, it's interesting in the sense that I'm actually a shy introvert, so I would never have chosen to do something that required me to be on stage in front of people, right? That was never my thing. And I was producing a talent show for Black History Month when I was in high school. And at that time, I got invited by Master T to come on to Extendamix to like talk about the show. And then the minute I did that, then tickets just started flying. Because at that time, you know, if something was on Extendamix, it was just like, yo, then this is legit where we have to be. You know what I mean? So it's like the whole of Scarborough started buying tickets. And then I was like, yo, everybody's going to come and they're going to see all my friends on stage, but nobody cares who the organizer is. So I'm just like, yo, how do I get on stage in my own talent show when you have no talent? So I'm like, yo, let me write a poem. That's the easiest thing to do.
So hold on. So shy introvert now wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because Extendamix vibe, the Extendamix vibe is that.
Well, that's the thing, because they saw me on Extendamix, but then they would come to the show and then not see me, right? Because I'm behind the scenes. But I'm like, yo, how do I get seen? You know what I mean? So it's like, so then I had to like write a poem, and then I wrote a poem, and you know, as I say, that poem changed my life, and that's all I've done since. I've just worked full time as a poet since I was in high school.
Was that poem that you performed? Was that the first poem you ever wrote?
That's the first poem I ever wrote in my life.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was like 17, 18.
I was about to say, yeah, about 16, 17.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So, and then, yeah, that's it. Then I just figured out how to build a life around it, and here I am 30 years later.
Nice. That's what's up. Do you come from like a literary background? Like anybody around you are writers or poets?
No,
Rappers?
no writers, poets, rappers. There's really like no artists in my family. I'm like a black sheep and an anomaly in that sense. Like it's like, the hell did this guy come from? You know what I mean? It's like,
I
so
dig that, though.
Yeah. So it was just like, you know, having, you know, immigrant parents from Jamaica or whatever, they didn't understand this whole, what are you talking about? You're going to go do poetry kind of thing. It didn't really make sense. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I mean? And it was like, so, you know, that there's a lot of work trying to get them on board with what I was, you know, trying to do and stuff. But eventually it all came together.
Did you like start doing research after you wrote that poem, and then now you got this now new fan base and stuff? Are you now saying you're about to start writing more?
Yeah, there really wasn't any research per se. I think I'm a trial and error kind of person. So I mean, I was in it. The show that I did, you know, went really well, and there was a couple women who were at the show and they heard the poem that I did, and they worked at an agency in Scarborough. And every time they were doing events, they'd be like, "Oh, we got this guy. He has this poem. You have to hear it." So they'd call me up and they'd be like, "Hey, there's this event. Can you come and do that poem that you did at the school?" And so I was going all around the city doing this.
What's the name of that poem?
It's called "In Search of the True Brother."
Okay.
And so I was going around the city doing this poem, and then eventually the poem started to get on my nerves, because everywhere I went, people were like, "Yo, can you do that poem? Can you do that poem? Can you do that poem?" I'm like, "Yo, I got to write another poem." So then I wrote a poem to replace that poem, and then that's really how it worked. And then, you know, 30 years, I'm still just writing poems.
That's crazy when you think about it, right? Because to start it off was just the love of talent. So that's why you decided to do a talent show. You know what I mean? And was it just the love of music itself, or the like just knowing that people have a talent and you want to be able to help them get it out there? Like, how did the talent show portion start to set off the whole poetry thing?
So I mean, I knew I had great organizational skills, and I knew I had a lot of friends with talent that had nothing to do with the talent, no places to go, no venues. You know, when you're young, when you're black, when you're in Scarborough, like nobody wanted you nowhere, right? So it's like, yo, there's some brilliant people, but there's like no place for them to perform. So I was just like, all right, let me organize this show. I met with my principal. He's like, yo, you can use the school. And I was just like, all right, cool. So it wasn't an official school event, which also allowed me to charge people to be there.
Got it,
right?
got
So
it.
then, you know, I made like, you know, over $1,000 just one time as a high school kid, you know, just doing that talent show. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I could do that. I could duplicate this. You know what I mean? Right. And then that's it. So the next year I started a business called Up From the Roots Entertainment, and I'm still running that business now. And it was really just a matter of trying to find talent and give them platforms and being able to showcase them and what they do. And that was the blueprint, and still works.
That's dope. Can't be mad at that, especially you did it in your community, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anything I do with music, the music comes afterwards. It's always written a cappella first and a cappella in mind, because more often than not, when I go to perform it, it's going to be a cappella. I don't always have, access to the musicians and different things, right? So the a cappella is the first thing. And then usually if I'm going to do a live show or if I'm going to record an album, then I'll get the musicians involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it? What does a day look like for you, like writing a poem? Does it take you a day? Do you just like take like little notes that you see throughout the day? How does that happen?
So I mean, in my phone, there's a ton of poems in progress. There's a ton of like just poetry ideas, or just even like little one-liners or whatever that I might incorporate into something. But typically, I don't write until I'm inspired to write. And because I'm writing when I'm inspired, usually, hour maximum, 2 hours it takes me to write something. And then it's good to go.
I was playing with this topic, right? Since we're talking about inspiration, do you feel like inspiration is for amateurs?
I think inspiration is for everybody. Like,
now, when it comes to inspiration now, right? Some people would say they're going to go on a mountain, sit on a rock, wait for the inspiration to come back to get this great idea. I'm a firm believer in that whatever you're doing, while you're going through it, that's when inspiration will come through, right? Now, so I'm not like let's say this. I take notes about things and stuff in the world that I see, my week, and because this is a weekly podcast, right? So I'll just take notes, jot little small notes, and then I'll be like, let's take a deep dive in that. Let's look into that. Let's talk about that. But I want to say, because I'm going to, as a content creator for a podcast, I'm going through it. So that's kind of like the inspiration in itself. Now, if I wasn't doing a podcast, I wasn't a writer, wasn't a rapper or nothing like that, and I'm just, let's say, quote unquote, loser or waste man, where would inspiration come from then?
I mean, it's a great question. And I think, for me, inspiration ultimately is everywhere, right? Like I can be in just about any environment and see something that's inspirational, right? I think a lot of it comes down to mindset. Like if you are a negative person, it's going to be hard to see something positive in an environment, right? If you are wired to, be woe is me and not recognize, hey, I'm alive. Hey, I'm out in nature. Hey, I have all of these things.
Like a gratitude.
Yeah, an attitude of gratitude. Then it's like, you can't see the inspiration. The inspiration is there. The inspiration is always there.
Right.
It's like, do you have the eyes to see it? So sometimes people will ask me about, writer's block and what to do when you have writer's block. And I say, well, it's hard for me to say because I never have writer's block. I say, if you get to a point where the words and the ideas aren't coming, ask yourself, am I living? Because if you're living, you'll always be inspired. So when you feel you have writer's block, maybe that means you need to go outside. You need to go for a walk. You need to go do something different that you've never done before. You need to go to a new environment, a new restaurant. You need to go have a conversation with a stranger. You just need to live.
And so that same piece, the same thing, that's part of the reason why, like somebody asked me, they're like, yo, over 230 episodes and stuff. How the fuck you guys didn't run out of things to say? But I'm living.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm going to and fro here and there. I'm having conversations with this person. I'm having conversations with him off mic. You, other people, my woman will have conversations about different things and they'll come back. By the way, FYI, she said she's going to try and sue us because some of the great conversations her and I have, she wants to say like, no, you took it and make it to a podcast topic. But
before it happens,
it's that.
So we'll make her a show writer. We ain't got money to pay for it.
We ain't got money for all that.
We'll make you a show writer.
But it's that right there, like living. I am living, so I'm just going through life. So that's what I'm saying. Like the inspiration just coming.
It's easy.
Automatic,
right? It's just there. It's around you.
I agree with you 100% because a lot of times, when I think, like for me, like I used to, like coming up in high school, I rapped, right? So I'd write rhymes and stuff like that. And the best stuff that I wrote, it came to me. It just came to me. Put it down, right? Anytime that I experience writer's block, I'm trying to make it come to me. I'm sitting there. I'm trying to will it. And sometimes it just does not work like that. It's like you gotta go off your experiences. You gotta be able to say, you gotta be able to live in the moment, and then when you live in the moment, that translates into everything else. Sitting down and just wanting it to come to you, it may never come to you.
That's the program stands for amateurs.
Well, I mean,
you're not living. You're just sitting. You're just waiting. Like a lightning bolt's supposed to tap you in your dome to say Eureka. You know?
And I think it's, especially for artists, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because when you look at, somebody who's putting out multiple albums and then the audience is like, oh, that person's changed. They're not making music like the first album or whatever.
They're experiencing life at a different level.
Yeah, but my life is different.
Your life is
so
different.
like I'm now making music about what I'm experiencing.
Right.
And so if I've grown and you haven't grown, you can't expect me to be writing at the level that you're at, because this is what I'm experiencing now, right?
Man,
so
just listen to my older stuff.
So you know what I mean?
No, I 100, man. That's why I always felt. I was like, your life is constantly changing if you're living, especially in that industry, because your world is not the same as what it was before, right? And much as if you're striking when the iron is hot, so many other things are kind of just spawning from that,
right?
Yeah, that's what's up. So, when was your first poetry slam championship?
The first championship was in 2012.
You entered that in 2012?
Yeah.
And when did you win?
And
when did you win your first? Yeah.
That was it, 2012.
You won in 2012?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
Did you use your favorite poem that you hated? You'd start disliking?
No, like on the national level, it's like a week-long competition. So it's not even about like one competition. You had to come with like
I didn't know that. No.
a week's worth of poems and battle through people.
Where is it held in Toronto?
It's in different places every year. So that first one was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now, so when is the second one? Did you win the second one?
The second one was in 2019. And that one, was in Guelph. Yeah.
Speaking about poetry and having a way of words, this next interview, or I should say sit down with, a lady by the name of Mind of B. And she just didn't do poetry, but sensual, erotic poetry. Might have made Marv's left nipple jump. You gotta ask Marv about that one.
Welcome. We have a guest here. Please don't be rude. Not your average.
I'm sorry. The lovely B.
No virus.
No virus.
I'm B. Yes.
No
Hello.
virus.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for coming through. Thank you for spending your time with us, and thank you for putting up with some of his shit and his antics that he might say.
Yeah. You more so
I think
gotta
I'm more
look,
worried about you.
Yeah, I was about to say you more so gotta look out for that guy
Yeah.
over that, and that's
I've watched your stuff.
I'm
yeah?
harmless.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Pikachu shirt. I'm harmless.
That's where it all starts, folks.
Those are
That's
the
where
ones
it
you
all
got to be
starts.
extra careful
Yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
So tell the people about yourself, B.
So B is a pen name. I am a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I basically I just write on Instagram right now. It's just micro poetry, I guess some people call it.
Okay.
So I tweet it, I copy and paste it, and I put it on Instagram, and people send it to their partners. Moving mics. Partners, loved ones, crushes, and it gets conversations going. So I write about mainly sex, innuendo, relationships, anything I've felt before, and everything that I need to fail again. So yeah, it's really fun. It started from a blog, so I wrote a blog about 6 years ago.
The blog was before the whole Instagram thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So the blog itself is still up. It's on WordPress. It's called Sex in the Six.
Mm-hmm.
So Sex in the Six is a spinoff of Sex in the City.
Right.
And it's a little bit of everything of my dating experience, post-marriage, post-kids, and the good, the bad, and the very ugly in the dating world. And then it just kind of it evolved. I evolved as a woman, right? So right now I'm in the cusp of finishing a book based on the blog.
Nice.
So that's kind of in the works. And so now it's just more writing and therapy and yeah.
Are you still currently dating now?
I do not go online dating because it's just
Scary.
It's awful.
I say the dating pool has pee in it. Like somebody definitely.
You know what it is? It's everything's online. Unfortunately, it's a necessary evil if you want to put yourself out there.
Right.
It's everything is there.
Right.
The problem is it's given people this sense of infinite opportunities or infinite possibilities and options.
Right.
So no one really invests anymore, and it's so easy to get laid.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, great.
Is it though? Because I mean, why you have like the incel community and they're not getting laid and they want to get laid?
Well, they gotta check themselves. There's so many. There's so like
involuntary virgins. Like they're trying to do whatever to get a job done.
But see, this is the thing. Like when you're not your authentic self and you're trying to be someone that you're really not, it comes across that way in the dating world, right?
So, okay, what if, let's say, for example, I'm trying to date you and all I know is fucking house slippers, Pikachu shirts and everything, but I find you stunning and I want to date you and you're nothing into my world and stuff. Like even not even an online profile, but let's say if I know about you that you're an outgoing person and all that type of stuff, I'm a homebody, we don't mesh, but I want you. Mm-hmm. A man is going to sell you a lie to get you. So he's not going to be his authentic self most of the time when he meets you.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
With incels, because they can't sell a lie.
Yeah.
You're a fuck.
Yeah, and that's why it's so hard. But it's hard. It's harder in this age group. I know you're around the same age as me. You're around the same age. I'm in the middle of you two.
Yeah.
So I'm 43. I have been divorced now since 2015. I have twin boys that are 11. And I don't want that life.
Right.
I don't want to be married again. I don't even necessarily want to live with anyone. But I don't want to just fuck. I want to fuck everywhere all the time. But it has to be a little bit more than just sex. I don't want a friends with benefits.
No, it's got to be.
There's got to be a connection, right?
Right.
So I'm in that middle group in our age group where, either you're out of a long-term relationship and you don't want anything serious and you're just fucking and you've got multiple people. And I've tried all sorts.
Oh, are you raising your hand over there, dear sir?
That's what you're after.
I mean.
But this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with whatever you want, but as long as you're being honest.
So I am honest and stuff, whatever. Now, like I want to say I'm honest now because I look at it stuff as where
you weren't honest before.
No, I wasn't because I was looking at I need to get pussy.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it more like that. But then I realized the stuff I'm like...
You forget that pussy has a heart and a mind and a
some of the minds that attached to the pussy is Cocoa Puffs. Right? But I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, who am I to judge?
Who are you to judge?
So I look at it and stuff like, I give us a good old college try.
Fine, but that's fine. But be honest with the crazies, even them. They deserve honesty and be this is all I want. That's the thing. Give me the chance to say yes or no.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Give me the chance to say yes or no. Because I've tried all sorts of scenarios. I've tried dating multiple people, being in open relationships, and it just doesn't work for me. I've tried everything.
Have you tried polyamory? Because I was.
Well, that's yeah.
Like okay, like.
But I'm not, and I've done the work to establish what I like and what I don't like.
Good. Right.
Which is that's a lot of people don't do that.
Right. They don't. Right.
And so for me, I like monogamy. I like that because I'm very needy sexually and I don't want to share. I don't like to share.
Right.
I want that connection, that one-on-one, higher level, higher frequency, intense, mind-blowing sex. And I can't get that when I know in my mind, and my mind goes all those other places.
Right, that someone else is
sharing it. Yeah, some of your goods.
I just want that.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in that kind of rare middle place. I don't
Would you
want-
say that's where you are, Marv, or you?
To be honest, I want to say I'm slightly behind that aspect, but I just started.
cusp?
I'm on the cusp. Let's say that. But I want to say, here's the thing. I've done a relationship. So I've been married. Didn't work out. And I've dated and tried to do relationships and stuff afterwards. And I've looked at it as stuff as where I still have other goals and stuff that I need to accomplish that I will feel good if I accomplish. As a man, I just feel like, or let me say this, my take of a man and stuff is that we're not born with value. So things we do adds to our value. So I still need to add so many other things to my personal value because it trickles down to my son, to generational type of stuff. So in the process, I'm about to get horny. But at the end of the day, like, I would want somebody, but some people might want less of me. Some people might want more of me. Or I might be with somebody, I might want more of them, and they might want less of me. So this dance right there is already taking up too much time and energy.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do it.
So that's why like, I do it like haphazardly. Like I want to say, like, if I go somewhere and somebody might catch my attention.
And that's I like that.
I like the conversation,
it's more
and then we'll
the
see where it
natural,
goes.
organic,
Pretty much.
old school way
Right.
of meeting someone, coming friends of friends. Like anyone I meet, I'm like, you got a brother? You got a
Oh yeah, you're
friend?
so you about that? You okay?
Oh,
You okay?
yeah.
See, I was always iffy on dating
No.
friends and stuff for that because I was. See, I'm a robot. I tell you about, like, I'm T1000. So I'm like, if I meet you and we meet as friends, and they say, a woman's allowed to change your mind. So if you want to say fuck it, you want to date me now, I gotta now rewire my brain to say, oh shit, now I gotta try and treat you instead of like buddy to like an possible apple of my eye.
But what if she likes you because you treat her like that whole buddy?
Yeah.
There's nothing like. There's
But,
no.
Okay, so let's rewind. The whole concept of attraction, right? The jumping off point is the physical. We need that. It's essential. And anyone who says, "Oh, I don't care what they look like," bullshit.
No.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like,
we hammered that one out. Yeah.
You
facts.
need physical attraction.
Right.
And it's the whole Freudian and like primitive brain, right? You know within seconds of meeting someone if they're good. You have an energy, you have a look. Like the minute I walked in, I was like, you guys are cool people. Like I got that.
Right.
No offense, but I didn't find a sexual energy. Like,
No.
I know you're married.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll change my position a little bit.
It was
Hold
a
on.
Pikachu shirt.
Pikachu shirt. Hey, can we cut and switch shirts?
incel.
Because I just come out, it screams incel, you know what I'm saying? Should I do it in my wife beater then? So we do this show in the damn wife beater?
Blushing. You're
Look like
making
fucking
me
the Old
blush.
Spice Man
I'm
over here?
embarrassed. I'm sorry. But
It's all good. You're good. You're
All
good.
good. All good.
you have to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? But again, so you have that initial vibe, that thing, and it may be reciprocated, it may not, whatever.
Right.
But you need that.
Right.
And it is that magical spark, whatever you want to call it, right? Then it's what's behind the physical. So if you open your mouth and you start talking about Pikachu, I'm never gonna let this go.
No.
No. You got a solid grasp on that one.
The shirt will be burnt after this episode.
Or if I'm talking to like a 45-year-old and I say, what do you do in your free time? I hate small talk. And he says, I like to just chill and play video games. I'm like, God help me, I'm out.
Right.
Like that. Like, so again, it's what's going on behind all the physical. Because you could be drop dead gorgeous, open your mouth and just be
Talking
dumb as
shit.
fuck. And then it's over.
Yeah.
Or you could be so mentally stimulating. Like I've had some great phone conversations pre-physical date. And I'm like so turned on by their mind. Like it's so hot. And then I meet them and I'm like, oh, fuck. That's
Right.
gone. Because the physical wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
So it's tough. And especially the older we get, the more mature we get and the more self-aware we get. I think women mature faster than men.
I can agree to that. Right.
So, and we are emotional creatures more so than men. I think there's a shift in men these days, more recently in the last 10 years. men are becoming, again, more self-aware and realizing that being self-aware doesn't mean that you're feminine or, something's wrong with you. You have feelings and you can discuss your emotions.
I feel like we always had feelings, but I just feel like it just came to a point where
you stifle.
Women, I feel like a good portion of women always been like, men don't share their feelings or communicate. So then there's been like an influx on like, men need to communicate. So there's kind of like, you're forcing somebody like, talk. Like, fuck, I'm stressed out. The bills are high. This is that. And you be like, well, damn, when a man vents now, when he wants to talk, he's coming off venting and emotional and stuff.
Because they don't know how to communicate in a
tactful way.
In a way that gets the emotion out versus raw.
Like I always said that I'll watch baseball and stuff when probably like there might be no other sports and stuff on. Baseball is not really like my top tier.
No thanks.
It's pastime. And I always look like America's pastime. I'm like, why do guys go to baseball games and stuff? I'm like, because they can't really share emotions. So they just sit there to be like, how are the kids? Kids are good. Foul ball.
Yeah.
By the way, Tanya's cheating on me. Like, what the fuck? You take me here to tell me this? Yeah. Home run. You're like, all right. Shit, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's okay. It's a home run anyway. The fuck? Like, no talk. But see,
but there's a shift, right? Like it's happening.
It's happening.
So it's getting better, but there's still a big gap between us. So it's hard for women who have in my experience and who've gone through what I've gone through at this stage of our lives is like it's hard finding that person that can match us.
Right.
And sorry, I'm rambling, but like the point in my life is I've been there, done that. I work hard. I have a house. I have a car. I have all the things. So a partner, I don't want to have to do those things for a partner at this point. Like, I don't want to start from the bottom with someone at this point, right? Like, come as a match on all the levels. And again, it doesn't matter the amount of money you have in that grand. I don't need to be provided for in that sense financially.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I don't want to provide for you.
Yo, before I go any further, let me shout out one of our show sponsors, P Creators, for the super dope Toronto-born hoodie. I mean, you've probably seen their clothing sprinkled throughout many different episodes, but this is one of my favorite. Also, while we're at it, Brims for supplying the super dope 8-bit flip you upside down Toronto Blue Jays baseball cap. Tell you what, man, I gotta get Damien on the show because he's been doing some really big things for a real long time. And he's one of those guys that have an interesting story. So I definitely gotta get him on the show. But back to the program. Last but not least, the guy who's been giving us all our information of AI and what's to come, Sean Watson. We've had him on the show 2 times. It's about to be a third because it moves so quickly. I've also had him on another podcast where we just talk about AI and music in general. So, yeah, peep this one. You know what? It's funny because this is like in the early stages when we were just starting out the green screen stuff, and it's kind of amazing to see how we progressed since then. But definitely a fan favorite and definitely one of those people kicking the knowledge.
We got a guest on the show today. Tell the people who you are and get a little sneak preview and stuff like that. You got multiple names in my world. So I don't know which one you want to roll with today. So you can just pick and choose. Go ahead.
For sure. It's your boy, Maajin Bluu for short. The Govy, Sean Watson.
All right. So tell us how you get the Maajin Bluu. Tell us the Bluu.
So you want the real story or you want the fake story? So
I want both stories. Okay. We got time today.
Which one's more interesting? Tell that one first, and then we'll just slide through the other one right after.
It's actually a little bit of a joke because even at work, and I work in corporate Canada, everybody calls me Bluu. So we be on calls and stuff like conference calls and like, oh, let me introduce Bluu. I mean Sean, and they mess it up all the time. So people ask me like, yo, how'd you get the name Bluu? So I didn't really want to go through the real story. It's not depressing. It's a beautiful story if you ask me.
Right.
But telling it over and over again is whatever. And I'll tell that story second. But the first story I made up, but it sounds really true. I call it TikTok knowledge, right? So I have this phenomenon where people watch TikTok and they come up with facts they think are real, but it's absolutely garbage. It's absolutely fake. So I just made one of them up. And so I said, in the pyramids, there's a shade of blue that can't be replicated by digital means. It's just only lives in the pyramids. So I think of myself as that one original Bluu. And people are like, oh, that's so deep. Like, you know, you say that at cocktail hour and stuff. Like,
I'll get too far.
Get too far. Yeah. But the real story is I grew up Scarborough, Malvern, raised. And there's a Malvern legend, Sean Bluu Rose. If you listen to Specs on the radio anytime, he has the Blue Zone.
Right.
It's named after Bluu.
Okay.
Blue Society, shout out. So Sean Rose was like, he's an OG, basically. You know what I mean? But an OG in so many different ways. All rode on from a music perspective, from a mentor perspective to the youths. Everybody knew Rose. And he passed away really young.
Right.
I remember his funeral. They had it in Vern. And I couldn't get in to the spot. There was so much.
Wow.
The mayor was at his
I was about to say,
funeral.
wow.
Yeah, the mayor was at his funeral at the time, and like I couldn't even get into the church to pay respect. So they named the park after him in Vern, Sean Bluu Rose Park. Funny story, one of my homies passed away not just like a couple of weeks ago, actually. Bless up to Deuce, rest in peace. He started calling me Bluu when we were in Turkey. He's like, yo, you remind me of Rose. You remind me of Rose a lot. So I'm gonna start calling you Bluu. And that caught on. My name's Sean too. So just all linked together. And then one day he saw me on the bus, Rose, and he's like, yo, I heard they call you Bluu. And I was like, yeah, you know, just pass the name on. He's like, oh, you're a little baby Bluu. And I'm like, yeah, you know. He's like, yo, get off the bus for a sec. Got off the bus. He put his hand around me. He gave me one gut shot in the stomach. Boom. Curled over, stood up. I was like, yo. And he's like, yo, that's the blessing, you know? You're initiated now.
That's it. All right. Take this with the name?
Take the name. So I always remember that. I always hold the name. I'd be on stages and stuff all over the world. And that name Bluu resonates, still lives on to this day, right? So they say you have two deaths. One's when your physical body dies. And the second death is when the last person says your name on earth. So I keep the name Bluu alive for him. Nice. Just a shout out to the turf, the OGs, and keep myself grounded, you know, because my head get big sometimes.
I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad. I think a lot of people and stuff, they need more situations of like that because it creates a level of humility, right?
Right.
Because some people, they really do forget where they come from. And a lot of people I know, even 50 Cent said it one time. He's like, yo, fuck the hood. I left there, I'm never going back, right? And they want no remnants and stuff of it.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, let's not hear you say no Southside Jamaica Queens in your bars. Because you were the same person that said, fuck the place. But at least in your side and stuff, you still pay homage. You never forget where you come from.
Exactly, yo.
That's dope. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. So talk about yourself, man. Tell the real world and stuff about like you and this. I like the title, Futurist.
First of all, were you always like growing up? Was that always been your thing, or like just looking into the future? And
that's a great question, man. So I'll tell both sides of it from my background. Really quickly, I came up on the music industry side, and entertainment and stuff. I went to school for audio engineering at Harris Institute for the Arts.
Nice.
I worked in studios, ran studios, worked with artists for years. I was part of the founding team of Urbanology magazine. The most popular urban magazine in Canada ever, period. And still rep the name.
That's it.
Early member of the Ballad Beatmaker Sound Supremacy team. It's another institute in Canada that has been running for 15 years and change or whatever it is now. And there's a lot of stars that came out of it. So always just supporting and just loving the Canadian music scene. I mean, we were the kids running behind IRS and the circle. You can see us in music videos and stuff, just trying to support and be street team from them. So that bit love turned into a reality when I realized there wasn't many studios in Canada you could work at. There was probably like 5 major studios in Canada, major studios after I graduated. And not to mention, I graduated the year before Pro Tools became a thing. It was starting to pop, but I learned like tape and reel and stuff like that. And that was God's dodos.
See, I was going to I went to Trebas around the same time because that I was at the cutoff point where you had to learn tape, but it wasn't Pro Tools. We started the digital. We started with Cubase.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
I used Cubase for years.
Same thing though. When I got out and I started like hitting the pavement and started looking for places, The first thing they told me was like, no, we want Fanshawe students because they were there for 3 years.
They were there for 3 years.
They were there for 3 years.
Yeah.
But even with that said, it was just not enough to sustain all those people who wanted to get into that.
Yeah, exactly. And so getting out of there, technology kicked my ass. And I got onto the kind of managing artist, more producing from like a Puffy Diddy perspective, getting into the studio, talking about how you should direct your music and identities and songs.
So should we call you Blue Diddy?
Yeah,
now?
you know what I mean?
Blue Diddy
without the bad connotations. But I realized this technology was something that I need to keep my eye on. So I started working at Rogers Communications, our big ass telecommunications company here.
Yep.
I started on the phones, became a team leader. And then there's an opportunity to go work at the big office, corporate office on Bloor Street, where that CEO was. I was like 3 floors down from him, and I was a business acceptance tester. So some of you might know Rogers Smart Home Monitoring.
Yes.
Okay.
The security system. So I pretty much was part of the team that launched that across Canada. I was doing all the testing. I was putting it in the freezer to make sure it worked in Canadian winters. I was running all these test cases and stuff, really getting to technology side of things. Let me give you a tip right now. If you have any kind of security system, not specifically the Rogers or anything, make sure you change your default programming password on your panel. Anybody who knows that can walk in and reprogram your whole security system. That's any security system in your house. So
got it. Good tip. Good tip.
From there,
so many questions. Oh, how you still know that? And how many people and stuff are looking like you done blew up a flex?
Sorry, I gotta put them out.
Continue.
Yeah, so always just interested in the operations of business as well as technology. So I did that, worked for call centers. I ran call centers satellite, so they would be like in Monterey and in Mexico and Manila in the Philippines, and I would run their call centers for them.
Nice.
For Bertelsmann, Arvado, which you might know from BMG. So I worked for them. And then I was like, yo, I'm just hustling for these people, these big corporations, and I'm a number. What's going on here? So one of my homies who actually worked with me at Urbanology, Biz, he was working at a company called Trend Hunter, a startup company in Canada. And he was like, yo, Bluu, you should come through and check this out.
Shout out to Biz.
And I was like, yeah, this is cool. So I went there, and it's been a ride ever since for the past 7 years. My title now is a senior vice president. The full title is senior vice president of revenue operations and special projects.
Nice.
So at Trend Hunter, we are one of the world's largest trend spotting platforms. We take a look at all the things trending in the world, put them onto our system, have people interact with them, and try and ascertain patterns of what's happening or what's trending and why it's trending, and understand the consumer behavior behind it.
Right.
Okay. So we work with all of the Fortune, out of the top 20 companies in the world, we work with 19 of them. As a Canadian company, I don't think there's many Canadian companies that can say the same.
Nice.
I travel all over the world as a futurist, which is somebody who is obsessed with the future and is always thinking about what's next and trying to make and understand where the world is going.
Okay.
And I act as a subject matter expert, mainly on technology, AI, but it could be marketing, could be innovation tactics, and you name the company, I've probably been there, from your Googles to your Facebooks to your associations. Like I'm actually going to do a talk at the North Carolina Storage Association, but also Mattel or, you know what I mean? You name it. I probably work with them in one capacity or another. Just finished up a big conference in Toronto. I was interviewing NASA, as well as Amazon and HP on an AI panel. So I really work in the business, keep my eye on the cutting edge. I won't say I'm an expert, but I am an enthusiast.
Right.
You got to be an expert. You got to know a lot of different things, but I talk to all types of people about technology from a generic perspective that I hope is, I'm like the Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know what I mean? Cool technology.
No. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
I see what you did right there. You finessed that smooth in. Well played. Well played.
It's the subtle investments that we don't look at all the time that really shift things, right?
Yes.
So, like, for example, you know, we had Web 1.0, so your original internet, you know, your static pages, you go to the website and it's just like news or whatever. You couldn't really do nothing. You read it.
Yeah.
Then you have Web 2.0 is where you could kind of interact with it. It's called participative social web. So
that's what the up, down.
But now you could click on it, you can like, or you could comment on things. Remember, people have blogs, and we're like, yo,
Right.
blogs, and people could comment on your blogs or like your blogs or share your blogs. So that allow you to participate on the internet, so to speak. So that's Web 2.0. But from Web 2.0, that liking and commenting, we didn't realize that would turn into Facebook, into TikTok. The social media came out of that one little interaction that we didn't realize what it would grow into. And that's kind of like what Web3 is now with the blockchain and different aspects of crypto and things like that and NFTs. Right now, those are blogs. Ain't nobody cares about blogs anymore. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like,
right.
Crypto is a blog. But what it's going to develop into, it might change the world like social media did. So you just got to be like, that's why I'm like, yo, don't turn your nose up at crypto. Like Web3 is a major thing. Like this blockchain, this whole idea of the uneditable kind of ledger, then that's important right now.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, I mean, on the Minority Report side, there's a part in a speech I did this year at our Future Festival, my keynote on AI and technology, where I was showing how there's things that I grew up watching that was like, yo, this is amazing, blow my mind. Blade Runner, big Coca-Cola signs on this back thing. Right. What's it called with Will Smith? iRobot, them walking down this aisle with the robot and stuff. And I'm showing pictures of right now. It's the Nike ads that they have, that 3D that pop out of the building.
Yeah.
Those kill the Blade Runner way better than anything that was in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And now we have like the
because they took part of that was it South Korea with the whole
it's like a box
wave room box
all
thing?
that shit.
Yeah, the shark and all, I was like,
crazy.
Oh my gosh,
the dome they got in Las Vegas now. Yo, crazy. That is way better than anything I saw in Blade Runner. And that was in 80s, 90s, man. Like, you know what I mean? We got there. We got there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like the minor, when he walks into that spot and all those advertisements are on the glass. Yeah. I was on IG the other day and I see them like, selling it. I was like, what do you mean? Like they're selling like the roll-on little mirror thing that you can now project an image on your clear glass of your store. I'm like, shit. Yeah. Like regular customers can do this shit now.
Yeah, but everywhere we're looking at stuff now, I feel like, especially like browsing wise,
they're
asking for cookies. Yeah. So once they're asking for your cookies and stuff, it's only a matter of time and stuff where things are just gonna be tailored towards you, much less like things.
Well, the thing is just that now that they have to ask. Before they didn't have to ask. The cookies were just in there, right? But we're past the point now, in my opinion, that cookies mean as much. It was just easier to target you with cookies. Yeah. But they got so many touch points, man. Like to talk about Minority Report and be able to predict people's behavior. I mean, that's already been done by Amazon. I killed gummy bears. I'm a big gummy bear fiend. It's my one kind of weakness. I buy big ass bags of gummy bears, get high, and fucking eat gummy bears all day.
Right.
And I said, yo, I'm cutting this nonsense out. And it was like a good month or something. I was off gummy bears. And I was sitting there, I was in my room, and I was like, yo, I kind of want some gummy bears still. It's been a month, you know. Yeah. I did pretty good. Right. My freaking Alexa went off. Boom, notification. I'm like, Alexa, what's the notification? It's been a while since you ordered gummy bears. I was like, he's like, do you want to order? I was like, yeah, I do.
I deserve it. It's been a month. I earned
you just
it.
confirmed my thoughts. Get me the gummy bears.
Alexa did. Oh, yes, she did. Motivated you. I feel like I had a conversation with a friend, right?
Yeah.
This is when we were discussing about PrEP. So PrEP is, the anti-HIV,
Yep.
All right. When I had the conversation with said friend, maybe my phone was out, but I definitely wasn't on the gram.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, someone on the gram and stuff, and I'm looking, whatever, they're showing like mad PrEP ads. I was like, fuck is going on here? Whatever. Because I was looking like, they're like, talk to your partner about PrEP. I'm like, I don't gotta talk to her about PrEP because I don't got plans of using PrEP. I'm like, I was like,
this is
bastards.
So this is one of my favorite things about I have all these crazy theories and stuff, right? But conspiracy theories. So
maybe you shouldn't sit too close to Smooth.
The conspiracy Smooth over here.
I'm big on conspiracy theories, but I think conspiracy theories are the conspiracy.
As you can see, I've made it back safe and sound, back at home base, the recording studio, and didn't have to fight off any small woodland creatures. So I'm thankful for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the 4 conversations. I'm sure we'll do more of this because, like I said, you ain't always got to hear from Marv and myself. Sometimes a subject matter expert is good also. So remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace, I'm out.
The Podical signs with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.